Hi, Dr. Laura Batson here from Somerset Health and Wellness Clinic. I want to talk about my follow-up naturopathic visits. I'm making some changes to my practice. My follow-up visits will now be referred to as remembering journeys. They consist of a naturopathic follow-up, followed by acupuncture with Shamanic Reiki integrated. So I'll explain in a moment what that means, but first I want to explain the title, Remembering Journey. I call it this, given the two meanings of the word remembering. So to remember as in to put back together again, and also remember as in to reclaim the memory of something, retrieve your memory. And in both cases, I'm referring to you, so putting you back together again with the premise that you're whole to begin with. And you've always been whole. But sometimes our journeys in life knock us around and in ways that distort our sense of wholeness. And sometimes that can feel like a brokenness. Feeling physically, mentally, emotionally broken, diseased. So we go on a journey together to remember you, to bring back that sense of wholeness that may have been distorted from its original form, to bring it back into its original form of health and vitality. And for the second meaning of the word remember, we're talking about igniting and retrieving your memory of who you are. So when life and perhaps unhealthy patterns or traumas that we experience distort us, we can get knocked off our paths and forget who we are and why we're here. And we need to reclaim that knowledge, remembering who you are and why you're here. And when you do that, it helps to bring everything else into place, for everything else to fall into place where it belongs, for those putting back together of the wholeness to happen with greater ease. I also refer to it as just coming home to oneself when you remember yourself. In terms of what to actually expect in the appointment, so the appointment is 1 hour long. It involves a naturopathic follow-up. So we'll talk about your nutrition, your lifestyle changes, your plant medicines, the recommendations that I've made naturopathically. We'll follow up and see how you're doing with that, if you need any more guidance or any tweaks or changes to the protocol. And then we'll enter into an acupuncture session. So a typical traditional Chinese acupuncture session is working to bring harmony and balance back into your being, looking at the energy systems and the functioning of your organ systems from a mind, body, and spirit perspective, and shifting those patterns back into patterns of health. In addition to the acupuncture, I'll be bringing in Shamanic Reiki. So many might be familiar with shamanism and or Reiki. Maybe not the two of them combined, but I've been trained by Pete Bernard, who's an Algonquin medicine man here in Ottawa, and he does what he calls quantum shamanic Reiki. Reiki being a form of energy healing practice worldwide, its origins go back to Japan. It's a hands-on form of healing where the practitioner is connecting with the universal Reiki source of energy and channeling that energy to the client for healing. The way Pete Bernard teaches this form of Reiki is he brings in his understanding of shamanism, his practice of shamanism, where you're not so much channeling the energy in a linear cause and effect way, but you become the energy, the Reiki energy, and we learn shamanic symbols to use in that healing practice. And what I find when I integrate the shamanism with the Reiki is that people go on journeys. They journey into themselves, they connect with spirit guides, animal guides, they connect with images, even voices and phrases and words that come through them. So they go on what may be referred to as a shamanic journey. And often that carries messages for the individual that pertain to their healing. And so during the acupuncture, after I put the needles in, I will place my hands over the acupuncture needles, and then that's where I'll perform the shamanic Reiki over the needles. After the session is completed, we'll have a bit of time at the end just to debrief what came up for you, what was significant, and where we're going next in your journey. So that is a remembering journey. with me, a naturopathic follow-up with the Shamanic Reiki acupuncture integrated into the whole. I'm really excited about these new forms of medicine that I'm bringing into my practice, and I'm really excited to share it with all of you. Thank you. Be well. Namaste.